Okay, so in this video we're going to wire up our KY002 vibration sensor, or some will call it a shock sensor. So right now I have my Arduino, I have my breadboard, I have 6 male to male jumpers, I have 3 male to female jumpers, 1 LED and 1 resistor. So I'm going to start with this item right here, which is my shock sensor. So right now I want to put the blue wire on the S portion here. Let me show you guys. It's S, a minus, which is going to be the ground, and there's going to be the middle pin, which is where the power goes. So I'm going to hook up the blue pin to S. That's going to be our sensor pin. The other 2 pins power it, so I'm going to put red for positive. I'm going to use the brown wire for negative. So I'm going to keep that here, and then I will separate each pin on my breadboard. That way we can distinctly look at each pin and see what we're doing with each pin throughout this wiring process. And once we load the code, it'll be easier to track things. So we got that, that's our red wire. Now I've got to attach the brown wire. Make sure they're evenly spaced. There we go. Now I have my Arduino. I'll hook up the sensor pin to pin 5. So I'm going to use the yellow pin. Make sure it's lined up in the same column as the blue sensor jumper here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it starts with 0, so pin 5 on the Arduino. Then I have this green sensor pin. I'm going to plug it into pin 13. That's going to go to our LED, so we're going to leave that here for now. Second, we want a common ground. So what we can do here is we could use 1 wire from the ground of the Arduino, plug it to this blue rail here, and then plug the other 2 wires to this blue rail. So we could share the ground between our LED and our sensor. So all of it goes back to ground to this 1 wire to the Arduino. Take one of the wires and put it to the brown wire for our sensor. And then we can take the other wire we'll use for our LED. So now to power the sensor, I'm going to hook up the 5-volt pin to the red wire. Make sure it's lined up of the sensor. So now we have our sensor hooked up, and now we're ready to hook up our USB. Not USB, our LED. So these LEDs, since the Arduino spits out probably about 0.8 amps of current, we need to make sure that the LED is receiving no more than 20 milliamps. So right now I did a calculation in our breadboard video where I showed you that from a 5-volt Arduino we need a minimum of 250 ohms resistance so we don't burn this LED. So right now I'm going to use a 330 ohm resistor, which I'm going to put right here. Now with our LED, it's got a short side and a long side. The long side is the positive. So I'm going to have the resistor put one of the legs. So I'm going to put the positive leg in the same column as the resistor here. The negative leg will be left open. So on the negative leg, I'm going to figure out what row it's on, and I'm going to put this white wire here. And for the positive leg, I'm going to take the green wire from 13, and I'm going to put it here in the same row as this leg going to the positive wire, connect to the resistor. So there you have it. This is the wiring portion. Now I'm going to hook up my laptop with the code just to show you how it's going to work. So USB hub connected to my laptop. Connect to the USB hub and connect our Arduino. I'm going to show you the code setup in the next video, but what we can do now is we can check so first we're going to run our code, make sure there's no errors, then I'm going to upload the code to the Arduino. Everything's powered up. Now whenever I knock on the desk, the LED will turn on according to this wiring and the code setup we've done. See, anytime I knock on the desk, you will get a output to this LED. So anytime this sensor picks up a knock, it's going to send a signal through this yellow wire to the Arduino, and then it's going to send, the Arduino is now going to output a signal to the LED to turn on anytime I knock or detects vibration on the desk. Thank you.